So close.
So on that shot, I got Colin a little bit. Let's see. Sorry, buddy. It's the dangers of cameraman work right there.
Yeah.
Donald and I can attest to that. Nice shot. Did you get a good shot though?
I think so.
Oh, right on, buddy. Made it to camp and we set up our tent, and it's been a while since we did some ground tenting, so yeah, it's kind of bringing us back to the days where we just camped off the ground, and nothing wrong with that, right?
No, it's fun. I like it because you can stand up in it and a lot of room, so it's cool.
Yeah, and this site's pretty cool because we have a view of like a little waterfall. There's like a little stream running across by our campsite.
Yeah.
It's a little muddy at some spots, but you know, overall it's it's really nice.
Yeah, there's enough dry areas to make it work.
What we're gonna probably do is in a little bit, since we established our campsite, and since it's pretty busy, we passed by a lot of cars, and then we're gonna head out and do some exploring around here and see what's out here.
And then for dinner, we're making hot dogs.
Yeah, we're keeping it simple tonight. We're gonna have some hot dogs.
Can't wait, it's gonna be so good.
And then Bernie, where's Bernie?
Bernie's being so good. Can I see what the baby looks like on the side?
Yeah, it's starting to show, huh? We'll catch you guys in a little bit.
Bye.
Bye. All right, what's up guys? So I'm here with Donald. This is the guy who drove this rig, the Subaru Forester, and got my Tundra out of that mess. So if you already don't know who Donald is, let me introduce you. Let me actually get the pleasure of introducing you to Donald, otherwise known as Softroading the West. So that whole situation, right? So there's a few things I think we should talk about. So first thing, snow hasn't melted all the way through in the Pacific Northwest yet. So we stumbled upon while exploring this area with snow. I went and I just kind of drove through and I realized I couldn't get further, so I backed it up. And then you said, hey, let's film this. So he had his son, Colin, said, hey, we're gonna film this. So why don't you just do a full send through that thing, because I felt like we can do it. So what ended up happening was we backed it up a little bit further, I gunned it, and we went a little further, but what happened was my truck went off of this little mound and just kind of flew a little bit and just jumped onto a mound of snow, and I just high centered and I got stuck. So that's where Donald came in. And what did you think about that experience?
Well, I mean, I feel partially responsible because we were driving up and I was like, it would be awesome if one of us got stuck.
Yeah, I mean, we want some challenges.
Well, we did try to dig you out first. Before we went to the extreme of like hooking up snatch straps,
yeah.
we went at it with shovels. We went at it with traction boards.
Right.
We tried to get you clear in one of those methods without hooking things up. But there was a lot of snow under your truck.
Yeah.
And we just, yeah.
So basically we couldn't dig to the point where the tires made contact with the gravel when we dug down. So what we would have had to do, we would have been able to eventually get out if we shoveled it for hours. All of the snow right underneath the gas tank that it was resting on, clear all that out so that the truck wouldn't be high centered. We had some tow straps. He had a kinetic strap. I had just a regular tow strap. and we decided to MacGyver it and get that thing towed out. It's interesting because when you think about a rig towing out another rig, I think the last thing that will come into anyone's mind is a smaller size rig pulling out a full-size truck. And it happened here today, as you guys saw. And it is possible.
I mean, I really felt that we were close as it was without me pulling on it. I thought really all we needed was just a gentle little tug, get you up onto those traction boards, and then you'd be good.
Yeah.
So, you know, and maybe I gave it a little stronger tug than I needed to also.
And that's a good point.
I don't know, because I was, you know, I was honestly, I was concerned about, I didn't think I would get anywhere with this car pulling on your truck.
Yeah, it was crazy. But let's talk about that tug, because if you guys noticed that when he did tug, it didn't immediately kind of give right away. Maybe it took about a half a second. So in that moment, it just kind of stopped Donald abruptly, very abruptly. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a couple of mistakes that I made, and one was that I have the bad habit of not wearing my seatbelt when we're out on the trail. I didn't have a seatbelt on. And the second thing is I didn't even think about bracing myself for the impact that I knew, had I thought about it, I knew was coming. There was going to be a tug once I got the weight of the Tundra on the Forester. And I didn't really brace for it. But what happened was when that point hit where the snatch straps reached their limit and it jerked the Forester to a bit of a halt, is I lurched forward and I hit the windshield of my car with my head.
Yeah.
And broke it.
There was a pretty decent sized spider web crack. And amazingly enough, no cuts, no bruises.
It really didn't hurt. I don't even have a bump, I don't have a bruise. It really just, I wouldn't have even thought twice about it.
Yeah.
If I hadn't noticed that my windshield now is like...
That's insane.
Cracked.
So I think every day I go out, I learn something. I feel like either learn something or I experience something that I haven't experienced before. And this was a really good example. I mean, I've gone high-centered in snow before, but I haven't been in a situation where I had to actually get recovered backwards. So I should have carried soft shackles, you know, because you'll see in Donald's channel, the reason I say that, I'll leave it at that. He'll show you on, so if you haven't subscribed to him, check out his channel, by the way. I'm going to link in the description below, but there's a reason why I say that now. But luckily it didn't turn into something worse. It could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
And it happens sometimes, right?
I suppose it happens. I mean, everyone warns you that it can happen.
It can happen, yeah. So if you're curious about that, definitely check his channel out. But the windshield's cracked.
The windshield's cracked, but I'm okay.
Yeah,
and
thank goodness.
We got the Tundra out.
We got the Tundra out. We made it back to camp.
Made it back to camp, and...
So what year is your Forester?
2012.
2012. It is one of the most capable Foresters. I mean, if you've seen my older videos, you've seen us travel with like Prime Outdoors, Jason, Chris, all of us going into the, you know, sisters on snow and all that stuff. And Donald's just been there every step of the way without any issues. So, and he goes on adventures all the time. He has some really insightful stuff, really very creative stuff. And I definitely highly encourage you guys to check out his channel. But anyways, I owe Donald today. I learned about a few things. I'm definitely gonna keep my seatbelt on if I recover. And you know, I don't know if my head would have been able to survive that, because it was great. I mean, overall, I mean, that part wasn't great that he cracked his windshield and hit his head, but it was great that we got to just go out and explore. I've never been down that road.
I've never been in this area before.
No, yeah.
And it was a good, and I've never recovered a vehicle like that before either. This was a lot of new things today.
So this was your first recovery?
This was my first recovery of another vehicle.
Well, I get the honor of being his first recovery. On top of that, his first recovery was a full-size truck. So you know he's capable at this point in time. And Donald's a great guy. I mean, I've gone out with him plenty of times. We've been on group outings together with other people, as you've known. With that said, I am going to say that if I was by myself, I wouldn't have done what I did in the snow. I'll say that. I'm going to try to save face. But all of you guys want to bash me or Tundra owners, go ahead, whatever. I'm used to all the crazy comments. But aside from that, yeah, Donald, Softroading the West, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're keeping it simple today, guys. So we're having some hot dogs and potato salad. So we got classic jumbo franks, sandwich rolls, ketchup, mustard, got a beer. Grill it over this Tabiki portable campfire pit. Just relax. Katie's probably gonna turn in early today, guys.
Yeah, I'm
but
tired. Hey guys, it's about 6:30 and you know your girl is exhausted.
we're a little tired. We had a pretty decent long. Oh gosh.
He got you, Daddy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, come on.
Oh,
You missed him.
All right.
Wow, so
Okay.
neat.
Just had dinner.
Yeah,
And
delicious. It's been a beautiful day. Perfect weather.
yeah,
Can't complain, really. It's been a lovely day.
it was a good little trip. We had a good little exploration.
Yeah. Bernie's been passing out in the dirt, so
Yeah.
I said, okay, I guess it's time for him to go good night. And so
Yeah.
Mommy came in with him.
Yeah, we were around our campfire, portable campfire pit, and Bernie started to pass out on the dirt. So Katie being a good mother.
Yeah, I like to be a good mommy.
Yeah, and we're trying to, as some of you may know, because of our announcement, Katie is pregnant. Because of that, you know, we're expecting, so we're trying to get in these trips as much as we can without the baby, but once the baby comes, it's going to be interesting. We haven't done ground tenting like this in quite a while, but
We were reminiscing today
yeah.
when we first got the Tacoma, how we
Yeah.
used to like just take it and go random places and explore roads we'd never been on.
Yeah,
Because that's what we did today with Donald. And
right. This
it was
trail,
fun.
this trail today we went on, neither of us have been on it before. As you guys know, the rack is being switched out on my truck. We're gonna mount the rooftop tent later, but you know, the ground tent has its advantages. You know, there's nothing wrong with a ground tent in terms of what you can do. You can still go out and in this tent we can stand in it, you know, and stuff like that. But I might do a 2-year review on this. We've had it for like 2 or 3 years, so
Yeah.
we've been through a lot with this tent.
We got it on discount, which was really nice.
We got it at the REI garage sale. That's right.
As you can see, I'm not sure if you can see him in the corner, but he's passed out.
He's passed out right here.
He's
But
so tired.
yeah, let's try to show him. He's done. And the thing is, all the groomers are closed because of this COVID situation, so he hasn't been able to get a proper grooming. So we try to cut him at home with some scissors and some clippers, and you know, it wasn't been that successful.
No, it was okay, but we need to get his like eyes,
Yeah.
and that's too. We don't have good enough scissors to do that.
We're gonna wait and let him turn into a giant walking mop.
And I woke up early today. Well, not early for like work early, but I didn't get to sleep in.
Yeah. So she's probably gonna get some sleep in a little bit with Bernie, and I'm gonna just hang out with Donald for a few, and then yeah, we'll come back. But catch you guys later.
Bye.
And just a little bit of Rose's lime juice for a little bit of sweetness and tartness. I'm going to cut up some mushrooms and we'll throw in some green